received a question here at CCEF recently that is a giant question in an extremely small package. And I will give a smallish answer. Do you believe that there is a biological basis for depression which may endure, despite the fact that heart issues have been successfully addressed through biblical counseling? If so, is there a place for long-term use of medication? Now, this is one of the defining questions of our age, and I would say, let me tweak the first sentence. I do believe that there can be a biological basis for depression. I wouldn't say is, because depression is multifactorial. You think how someone who suffers hypothyroidism or has their thyroid removed after thyroid cancer, they will be down in mood, and there's a biological basis of that. Menstrual hormones can make you down in mood. So there are some hard causalities that certainly affect mood that can be lifelong and long-standing. And I have little doubt that there are other kinds of things that we don't quite fully understand the mechanism and such that could equally contribute. You think about just temperamentally. We all come with temperamental differences. Some of us tend to be more sunny, some tend to be more dark, some of us tend more towards fear, others tend more towards anger, some tend more towards pleasure seeking, others towards trying to remain controlled. Those are things that at some level are wired into how we're made, and certainly there may be a disposition towards melancholy in a certain human being. That said, though, think about the depression among the elderly. Now, maybe some of it's driven biologically, heart disease and so forth. But you think about what it is like to lose everybody you know and love of your generation. What it's like as you grow on in life to lose your parents. What it's like to be 85 years old and have had two of your children die ahead of you. Those are dark experiences. So there are going to be life experiences that also are contributors. There may well be, and this will also be more back into the biological, you just think about what people know as cabin fever, or why do people who live up in Canada or Iceland tend to get more gloomy in the winter months because they don't have sunshine. There's something biological going on that contributes to a down cycle in mood. Does that mean that depression is biological? And I'd say no, but biology is one factor. We've mentioned biology, we've mentioned situational losses, and you think about the role of our sins. That can also be a factor within it. If I continually lose my temper and I know it's wrong and I feel guilty about it, during those times before I get that straightened out, I will feel down. So being down emotionally is one of the ways in which lots of different things come into play. Does this mean that there could be a situation where some long-term medication might be helpful, even if one is growing spiritually, is dealing with issues wisely? And I would say sure. At the most obvious level, you think about thyroid replacement sorts of things, which are designed to address mood. More controversial are going to be some of the typical antidepressant medications. As I read the literature on those, it does seem that probably 2/3 to 3/4 of the effect is a placebo effect, which is not a psychoactive effect. It's the faith the person puts in it. There are certain bad side effects that can happen, but it also does seem that perhaps 20 to 25% of people do get some kind of psychoactive boost in mood. Is that a bad thing? It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a bad thing if they view that their body is the only thing going on and they aren't doing the ongoing growing in biblical wisdom. But you could imagine a situation where it actually helps to, you might say, set a more stable basis of mood that helps a person continue to deal constructively with the facing of life's losses, the dealing with our sins, and so forth and so on.